Be a man. Building the pyramids, was that fun?
It's not real life.
It's not real life.
It's not real life.
No, I had real jobs
fake.
and I did real things and I was really broke and I was really on the bus and really trying to pay rent and doing real stuff for a long time.
I wrote a line in here, and I think you could relate to it. A poor man is broke. A rich man is broken.
Wow.
So
Okay.
if you're
Decent little line.
broke, you could figure out a way to be rich. But if you're given everything and you don't know how to manage this life, you're broken. And
you're
you
gone.
don't feel like you've earned anything. I've met more depressed rich men than I've met depressed broke men.
It's amazing you say that because
Crazy
two
he says
answers to
that.
My first one is I love that you say that because I always say I'm not rich. I'm a poor man with a lot of money.
Bars.
Always used to say that. And
Bars.
I don't want to brag or anything, but just because I get asked this question a lot. I've been extremely successful. I have hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, I think our last valuation across everything we own we're almost at B now. So we're doing very, very, yeah. I'm a billionaire. Top G's a billionaire. So we're doing extremely well. That's the first thing. The second thing, it's great that you say that because I completely agree. Because if you're born with everything, if you're born with all this money, you have no aspiration, nothing to actually grasp onto and
Smash
trying
that
to
like button.
achieve, then money doesn't make you happy. But then you can analyze this from another angle, right? We were just talking earlier, we can always pivot back to who the matrix are, who's in charge. So let me ask
Do you have somebody that
well, let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're born into
This
a
is
dynasty,
money.
let's say a banking dynasty,
Yeah.
and you're born a billionaire, and you have everything you've ever wanted ever,
Yep.
and money has absolutely no value at all,
Yep.
and a brand new Ferrari doesn't mean a thing. You could buy
Yep.
one every 10 minutes for the rest of your life. And money doesn't make you happy. What's the one thing that's going to make you happy?
Power.
Controlling others. Power.
Yeah.
Ego. So
That's
then you
it.
sit there and start looking at things.
because
and going,
games become real.
Absolutely. So now you're like, okay,
Squid
well, money
Game.
doesn't satisfy me. What makes me feel important? Especially if you're going to add in. Let's add in another angle to it. Let's imagine you falsely believe, because it is falsely, that you're somehow genetically better than others. You're from this lineage. You're better than the other people. And the other people, the serfs and peasants, are struggling for money. And you have unlimited money because you're so smart and your family's always been so smart.
You'll have haughty eyes.
Yeah. So then you're going to sit there and go, well, why did they make people put on a mask when they walked in the restaurant and take the mask off to eat and then put it on to go to the toilet and then take it off to eat and then put it back on? Because
I have a
I'll tell you why, because it's funny.
Stop
Because it's
interrupting,
just-
George.
Because it's an ego. Because it's ego. 'Cause
I thought it
it's
was
power.
the test to see how far they could push something.
Compliance tests.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing. So when you really understand that people who are in charge of the world are completely, like you said, broken. There are broken people. Money can't satisfy them. People said, I
Damn.
keep referencing COVID, and I do that because it was something.
This is
tangible
crazy.
everybody
Comment
lived through that
comment
great
section what you
reference.
think about all of
This
this.
is actually, it's a bad thing
Your
that
thoughts
could work
on-
in your
on,
favor
you know.
because now they could relate. It's hard to explain to a broke kid what a rich kid goes through
Yeah.
or what a broke person goes through. So this is actually a huge blessing. Do you think that COVID and people's frustration and what happened to them link them to understand your theories more?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of when I was saying during COVID about the Matrix, everyone called me crazy. By the end of COVID, a lot of people were like, Andrew,
You was
nailed
right.
it, day one. Because I don't think many people understand, because I wasn't nearly as famous then, but the videos exist on the internet. Me and my brother were the kings of COVID. Everyone else now understands it was garbage. Everyone else talks tough. Everyone else has their story about how they went out
You're
during
tough
COVID.
now.
But you're tough now. On day one of COVID, day one, when they still had the people falling over in the street in China. And yeah.
They're just running in the street and dropping
Died,
dead?
Yep. When the Italian hospital was overrun, day one, my brother and I sat down and had a conversation in our war room, our cigar lounge.
Two military-aged
Sat down and
male.
said, if this disease will kill people like you and I, military-aged males, then the world is over. It's zombie apocalypse. So what are we going to do? And we sat there and decided whether we should hide as long as possible or if we should just go out all guns blazing. So we decided to go out all guns blazing like heroes. This is all documented. It's on video. And day one of COVID, when everyone else was afraid,
Yep.
we flew to Sweden because it was the only open country. And we spent the next 4 months.
Ironic.
Yeah.
Because who lives in Sweden?
Very strange.
Rich people.
We spent the next 4 months in Stockholm and 6 nights a week in nightclubs with Swedish chicks partying while the rest of the world was locked in their house.
That's
Nobody talks
crazy.
about this. Nobody talks about the fact that Sweden was open, no restrictions. You could.
If
do
you know
whatever
anything
wanted.
about that, let me know in the
Nightclubs were
comment
open.
section
Everyone
down below.
was
That's
partying. Everyone else
crazy.
was locked up, not allowed to go to funerals. We were literally in parties all day, every day. I didn't even get sick. Didn't even get a cold. And it was cold outside. Didn't even get the sniffles. So we beat COVID. We won COVID early. So even after this experience, for the next 2 years of COVID, I'm trying to scream at people, listen, wake up. And like, oh, yeah, they wouldn't just put it on the news. They wouldn't just lie to us and try and scare us all for no reason. until you understand the good and evil in the world, and you understand that's how the devil actually operates. But the point I was going to make earlier about talking about how these people are broken and money doesn't satisfy them. People often say, COVID was just for money. And I say that's actually a very optimistic view of the world. It wasn't just for money.
They can
it was
print
for
money.
something far worse.
They have money.
They print money.
Yeah.
They make money. They are the money.
When I found out about I just learned about how they print money. I literally could not believe
Oh yeah,
it.
money's not real.
For 3 days, I'm sitting around, so I'm like, what the fuck is this? So they could just print this shit?
Money is not real. It's not real. They just print it. It's not real.
Fair. Please continue.
Yeah, so money's not real. And I say that to people. They go,
So
"What
it's
do you
not
mean?"
about money.
No, it's not about money. So what's about? It's about power and control.
Yeah.
Because when you get to a certain level of wealth, and I'll talk from my own personal experience, I want people to understand I come from the lowest possible socioeconomic.
The highest
I come from a
echelon.
Single mother household. My father and mother broke up when I was 9. I lived in Luton, England, which is the worst town in England. I grew up and went to
Yeah, it
a
is.
3% pass rate. Everyone around me was stabbing each other and selling drugs.
I thought you
or in
said your
jail.
father was one of the best fathers you've ever had.
He was, but my mother and father broke up, and he stayed in America, and I moved to England. And he wasn't financially successful, but he taught me other lessons.
Gotcha.
And I'm glad he didn't give me money, because I think that a harsh
would've ruined
upbringing
you.
and a harsh life makes a man a man. I don't think you learn a lesson any other way.
Yeah.
But I come from the absolute bottom, and now
What a story.
where
Rags to riches.
we have a very large empire. A lot of it is shadow. Most people don't know what it is. But even our overt things, even our university and things that are online are turning over $15, $20 million a week. So we're doing crazy sums of money. So I've been from the absolute bottom to the absolute top. I've seen it all. And once you get past a certain level of wealth, once you get past a certain level of money, but then you understand what money is, right? So we say about money not being real. Money is not real from a governmental perspective because they just print it as nothing. But money is truthfully the stored time and energy of other people. If you have money, you have stored time and energy of other humans.
Because people are hourly rates.
That's right. Because I can take
George,
that money
man.
and make someone else use their time and energy for X thing.
Got it.
So
So
once-
it's a different version of slavery.
He just
Absolutely, because
he just
if
needs to
I'm
learn
gonna
to
come
stop
along and
interrupting,
say,
George, and
"You're
he's
no
gonna be
longer my
sick."
slave. As my
He always,
slave, you
even
have to work
PBD,
for
he
a
interrupted
house and a
Patrick
car.
Bet David.
You're no longer
Ton.
my slave. In slavery, let's actually look at slavery.
Slavery began that way.
Yeah, and slavery said, you work on my plantation, I give you somewhere to eat.
Or I'll give you my daughter.
Yeah.
This is how people would work. And that's why they were like, the
Oh,
Bible believes in
flipping
slavery.
heck.
I'm like, slavery was different. It wasn't like there was bondages.
Don't
There
get
was
me
slavery.
wrong,
That's
it's a
why
good
the Egyptians-
podcast, but
that's a whole different.
it's just
type
the
of slavery. But
interrupting.
they're rich with debt.
Yep. Completely. So let's look at even American slavery, the slavery that most Americans understand. You're going to work for me, I'm going to give you a house, and I'm going to give you food, and you're going to stay here and you're going to work. Slavery is abolished. So now what do? You're going to work for me, I'm going to give you that, I'm going to give you some money, and that money is enough to only buy you a house and some food. We've just put money in the middle. Now, if I can make you do whatever I want for money, and I can print as much money as I want,
who's
you're my
yeah,
slave.
you must
Because I can print it from the sky, and you need it to live. So you are my slave. Money's not real. So I have all of this money. I have to store time and energy of other humans. And once you get past a certain level of wealth, you understand,
Crazy.
which ties back to COVID, that you're not interested in money. What you're interested in is people. It's always been about having good people around you. You want a beautiful, doting, loving woman who's obsessed with you. You want good brothers who will stand by you and make you motivated. You want bodyguards who are going to protect you. You want people. And then you want to look at it further down the rabbit hole. You want to get more sinister. If you've been born into a lineage or a dynasty or the people who control the world, you want people, you want robot people. You don't want to be spoken to disrespectfully. In your empire, in
This
your
is
podcast now,
crazy,
right?
man.
Podcast. Would you allow a member of staff
To
to come along and say,
disrespect
this
you.
is bullshit, I don't like how you do this, is shit, you're shit? Or would you fire him?
I don't know if I would fire
You'd
them. I'd
fire him,
first try to
George,
teach
bloody
them
heck.
How to behave.
And if they didn't listen,
They're out.
absolutely. So let's imagine you ran a country.
Okay.
Or let's imagine you ran the world. And then let's imagine there's this guy called Top G who sits down there because the most Googled man in the world for telling the world that COVID's.
Bruv.
And you're making everybody run around and do everything you say. You're going to allow that person to get away with it? And now you start to understand, that's how the Matrix operates. So the people who are broken, raised on money, are so obsessed with power and control, which explains a lot of the society we're in. Because they don't look up to God. These people think they are God.
So that's the biggest fault.
And they're trying to make robots of us all. They're trying to enslave us.
I you know what bothers me more than anything is when I walk into an establishment and the person who's working is
Goosebumps.
like, go to there and they point at a machine. What breaks my heart is that machine is going to replace you.
Yeah.
And you have no idea.
Yeah.
So you've gotten in a place where the person above you is encouraging you to be replaced. That's like, hey, see yourself out. Legitimately.
Yep.
See yourself out.
But people don't think. They don't, and they absolutely lack perspicacity. And then you go further down the rabbit hole because, like I said, there's layers to the rabbit hole. I don't even know how Alex Jones you want me to go, but he's right about
all the way.
He's right about a lot of things.
So you're an Alex Jones fan?
I like a lot of the things he says. And I'm not saying I agree with everything he says, but a lot of the things he says have been proven to be absolutely
correct,
true.
yeah.
You know, you say
same thing with Tate. I like a lot of things he says. Doesn't mean he's all correct.
And Alex was talking about, and a lot of other people talking about, and there's a lot of text which talks about the fact that the people who are in charge of the world, they believe that as AI improves, a huge percentage of the planet are going to become useless eaters. They don't need you anymore.
That actually
Whoa.
scares me. Who created it even is scared of it.
Well, that's the thing. So let's get a thought experiment. As it stands right now, most people are so uninteresting and so unremarkable that you could replace them online with a chat GPT bot and you wouldn't really notice. Genuinely, that's how boring most humans are. If you're special and remarkable and unique and you're famous or you do whatever, that's different. But most people you could replace with chat GPT by text, you wouldn't even know.
Today.
And that is a free application which is brand new. Imagine we're going to be in 20 years from now.
Oh my
we start talking about useless eaters. This has been discussed by very important, very powerful people at length. The same people who are trying to give you the vaccine are talking about the fact that the population of the earth needs to decline. Why do we need, they say it, Bill Gates says it. Why do we need to get rid of people? Well, machines will do it. So why do we need people sitting around who have hopes, dreams, aspirations? They want health care, they want safety, security, children, all of this garbage. We just need somebody to do X job, and a machine can do X job. So what do we need these people for? So then you start looking. I
find it weird that Hollywood was the first one to strike about it, but it was about actors.
Well, yeah, because have you ever asked ChatGPT to write a movie?
Like that?
Bro, it's better than anything you've seen in Hollywood in a long time. There's no woke bullshit. There's no trans, lesbian, black, double-dicked fucking hero. So it's great.
You know what's so funny is that like this episode is definitely gonna like fuck my account up, but I'm in for it. I'd rather be like real and like if I God forbid if I passed away, I just want to make sure that I was authentic.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Absolutely.
So they're gonna wipe people out with robots. How do you get in the way of that? So you want to be the Superman of this generation?
It's not about me. It's not about me trying to be the Superman. Because I'm not that arrogant. It's just
how money works.
Understanding what I know is going to happen. And feeling like if God has given me a platform which people listen to me, I should at least tell the truth of what's going to happen. Okay. When I'm sitting there and saying to men, look, life as a man is shit. It's always been shit. It's never been good. When men wake up and say, I'm depressed and life is hard and I'm sad and I'm struggling right now, I say, okay, throughout history, men have always struggled. Happiness is for children and women.
Wow.
Name a time in history it was better to be a man. Was it better to be a man in World War II? Was it better to be a man on the Titanic? Was it better to be a man in the Napoleonic Wars? Was it better to be a man when you were sitting in Vienna and the Mongol horde arrived, ready to decapitate any male and enslave all the females? When's it ever been good to be a man? Building the pyramids, was that fun? It always sucked. The only time being a man ever is good is you become an exceptional man. Which is even something feminists admit. Because feminists sit and complain about men and say, well, men have this, men have that. But they're talking about 2% of men.
Fascinating.
They don't talk about all men. They say men have the best jobs. 2% of men have the best jobs. Most men carry trash. So you're talking crap. So everyone accepts that the best possible human experience that exists is the top 2% of men. Anything below that sucks as a man. You're better off being a chick. So what I say to men is, look, life's hard. It's always going to be hard. It's always going to suck. It always has. The only way to get out is to become excellent and perform at a level where your echelon is so high that you get to live this brand new experience. You need to become strong and smart and interesting and charismatic.
What the heck?
Powerful, well-known, connected. You need to do it.
But can all men do that?
No.
So, okay.
Wow.
I have to tell them the truth. When people come along to me and say, my life's shit, and I look at them and go, yes.
Smash that like button. Let me know in the comment section what you think about all of this, how money works.
I am happy all the time now. I wasn't.
Let me know if I should react to the whole thing because this is crazy,
man. I was
man.
being a pussy.
Check out this video right here. This is insane.
Once I fixed what I needed to fix.